Dialed in
to Bucks and Brews, you might hear something
you can use.
like tips on your cash or tips on the suds.
You're gonna want to
The
use
smarts of these studs.
because they know the
And
brews.
they know the Bucks, and they know they can't help the stubborn fucks.
So listen up, because shit's not funny.
Save yourself some
Beer money. Bucks
and brews.
Bucks and
Bucks
Brews.
and brews.
Bucks and Brews.
Welcome back to Bucks and Brews. Depending on how you're listening,
Yeah.
you've either been with us for a while or you haven't heard us in a week.
That's insane. Guys, as always, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your family. We appreciate you joining us. Podbean and
And Twitch.
Twitch, thanks so much for being with us. Today's topic is one that you and I absolutely love. So we're gonna do a fun little thing. We're gonna hop on a couple different Reddits, read some people's things, and give our opinions on how to fix it without reading other comments of idiots that don't know a damn thing.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we were we were sitting here and something popped up, and I was like, man, we can get this person out of this really, really quick.
Yeah, I want you to read that one.
Yeah, so I'm 31, which doesn't really matter. $18,000 in debt and making 34 an hour. How can I get out of this? I'll break this down. I work in logistics, $34 an hour, as much as I can, and have been averaging $90,000 a year with overtime. Debt is as follows: $5,000 left on an auto loan,
Okay.
$10,000 401k loan I took out during COVID when I wasn't getting OT. $3,000 in credit card debt.
10,000 in the 401k loan.
Yeah. Wow. So I live I live in a rat infested apartment outside of the city. I'm paying $900 a month. After utilities, it's more like $1,300 a month. So we'll say $1,300 all in. My monthly car payment is $300 a month, but I've been paying $600 trying to pay it off. Without overtime, my biweekly paycheck looks like $1,600 after taxes. So I have literally no money for savings. Every paycheck goes directly to my bills. The rest is debt. If I ever need to buy anything, car repairs, medical bills, I put it on my credit card because I have the cash for it, thus keeping the hamster wheel. I can't afford to ever take a girl out for a date, nor would anyone want to date me. So, sorry, this is from the person itself. I don't know what to do. I just want to live in a clean environment and have money to ask a girl for a drink. So,
I
mean-
think my first suggestion is stop paying $600 on your car.
okay.
Because we've already there's an end date on that. You and I talked the other day about end dates on loans.
Yep.
There's an end date on that loan.
Yep.
Okay, let's say they just took it out and it's a 7-year loan. There's still an end date.
Okay.
I would say first and foremost, you need to pay off the credit cards. The 401k loan's already coming out of your paycheck automatically.
Yep.
So I wouldn't worry too much about that as well. I would work on paying off the credit cards and then trying to put some money towards some kind of emergency fund. That way, when things go wrong, you don't have to reuse the credit cards.
Right. And I agree with you. I'm a little confused by this writer
Mhm.
because, they say, hey, after my stuff, so without overtime, my biweekly paychecks looks like 1,600, but they go to say they've been averaging 90,000 with overtime. And, so biweekly is 1,600, but a $90,000 weekly paycheck is 1,730 minus taxes. So like they're at 1,500, let's say 1,400, let's say. So I mean, it's 2,800 every biweekly. So I'm a little confused by that. But if we were just to use the 3,200, I mean, we take out the 1,300 for their apartment, and we have a minimum payment of 300 for a car.
Mhm.
So that's 1,600. They haven't told, I say, I agree with you. So And I'm assuming with the 1,600 after taxes, that's including that loan payback for that 401k.
I would assume.
So I mean, we have to. And so we have 16. So really, we're at 1,600 extra dollars. And it sounds to me, I mean, if you're only paying 300 extra towards that car and you're still broke, you're eating out
Mm,
way too much.
Probably.
I mean, $1,600 is because
I
you
mean,
have
he-
all your bills
He
covered.
says that he can't afford to take a girl out, but what else can it always goes back to what can you cut?
Right.
Okay, are you paying for Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus,
Yep.
or do you not have that? Depending on how old you are, can you get away with maybe one thing?
Right.
Can you get away with, eating ramen for a month?
Right. Hot dogs. I mean,
Hot dogs,
I mean, if you
peanut butter and jelly.
say, yeah, I mean, even say, quit being a Nick and thinking you need 4 meats on your Italian sandwich. Just go with
Ham.
or 4 pieces of salami
Yeah.
and 1 piece of ham.
Yeah.
I don't need 5 pieces of ham and
Yeah.
5 pieces of salami and 2 pieces of turkey
And some cheese.
might as well have that pepperoni, baby,
Yeah.
because I'm already here. My red wine vinegar. Now I really want a sandwich.
You're not eating carbs.
I'm not, but I can put it in a wrap. It's okay. No, but so to me, from the numbers they're showing, I mean, we have 1,600 extra, and if we do the 300, that's 1,300 extra. Okay, so I don't know how far away you live, what you're using in gas, things like that. So there's not everything that we need here,
Mhm.
but this is why we talk about budgeting. So have everything. I mean, you did a really good job at kind of knowing what your debts are, which
Yeah.
most people don't know exactly what their debts are.
Well, and
right?
also what they're paying, for living expenses just for rent and
Yeah.
utilities.
I say, and I'm really happy that they, 400 for utilities included. So good for them for knowing that.
And
type
again,
of
it's a
thing.
rat infested place, which sucks.
Mhm.
But let's get some stuff to get rid of the rats.
Say, well, I mean, it says landlord, or so.
Yeah, but
Uh,
still,
But yeah, right. I mean, charge it back to the
Yeah.
to the landlord, unless it's in your lease that you're responsible for it. Then really, you should have
then
that type of
take
stuff.
care of it.
And say people. I don't think people understand that they can actually change the community, right? I mean, they really could go in and do it. But
We have a suggestion here as well.
yeah, what's that?
So Vanessa wrote in, Dollar Tree dinners on TikTok is an excellent source of cheap meals without eating hot dogs every day.
I thank you so much for that suggestion.
That's a great suggestion.
dollar.
Dollar Tree dinners
Free.
on TikTok.
Oh, dollar, like the dollar store.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean they have frozen foods and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So yeah, I said before I started this diet, that was one thing I told you I wanted to do. I was like, I wanted, but it'd be hard to get my wife and kid to do it. But like, yeah, I want to prove to these people because we did it. My wife and I, we tell it all the time. My wife and I did it for 3 years. I mean, literally nothing. And when we
Save a lot.
yeah, when we went out to eat, it was to Russ's for $7 for burger and fry, right?
Yeah.
Like, and we didn't get pops, we didn't get anything. Like when I tell people this, they're like, "Nah." I was like, look, when I tell you I didn't have internet up until like a year ago at my house, I'm not fucking lying. Like I do, I didn't have this stuff.
There are certain things you were just willing to do without because you
No, no.
weren't spending money on it.
anything. Like I'm not a huge spender, right? Like, sure, I'll go out to the bar and spend beer, but but back then I didn't do anything,
Yeah.
man. People don't understand this, My biggest consumption was fuel because
Mhm.
we'd go see things,
Yeah.
right? Like I didn't have to go spend money to see it. Yes, it's fuel and stuff like that, but like so to me, this person really, just focus. If you have nothing left on 1,300, I mean, you're probably eating out. I'm not going to call it Starbucks. I mean, I'm not going to say,
Share that post with me. That way I can respond that we answered his question on Bucks and Brews.
yeah. I have no idea how to share it. So, besides screenshotting it, so that's a David thing. But if you're $1,300 extra, I mean, this is again, David. This is without overtime. But now this person is telling me he's averaging 90K. So, I look at that and say 1,730 times 4 is $6,923, right?
Yeah.
Now if we take away their expenses, they said it was 1,300 for a living.
Yep.
They said it was $600 for a car. They said it was
401k loan.
The
Did they give-
401k
Did
well,
they give? They didn't give how much that was.
They
though.
didn't. Well, they said 10,000, and you have to pay that back in a year.
No, I
Or
don't
is-
think. No, they just take a certain amount of money out of each check.
Okay.
I think it's within 3. I believe.
Wasn't okay, but so even if we take 10% of this away, right?
Mhm.
So let's do $600, right? Minus 600, so 5,600, and I mean, where's something's really off here?
Yeah, there is. They're doing something, or they didn't let us know about student loans. Maybe.
maybe right.
I mean, we don't have.
Well, they're
enough.
saying 18,000 in debt. I mean, so if they're not adding that, but really, I mean, if you're doing this, if you're telling me you're making 90, but then telling me so you're either A, not working overtime, so you're
Mhm.
lying to me about that, or you're not doing, or you're missing some debts, or you're missing some payments somewhere. Because in my book, I literally just came up with a bare minimum, you have $5,000 extra dollars.
Yeah.
Right. And if you have a $3,000 credit card, I mean, you should be able to pay that off in a month. Even if you paid that off in 1 month, right? $3,000, David, we are still sitting at $2,000, 26, but
Yeah.
I'm going to add more to that 401
Mhm.
payoff, and I'll take another 600 off just because I'm at 2,000 extra dollars in this month. And so now we're still ahead. So on what you're telling me you make, we're ahead of what you originally had for the bi-weekly paychecks.
Mhm.
Because granted, I only did 2 paychecks a month. I didn't add the extra quarter or whatever it was, but yeah, so something is not right here. I'm not sure if you're just missing a little bit of information for me
Yeah.
for me to help out more, so I guess our first advice is, right, make your minimums on the car because it's already built into as a credit.
Yep.
Pay the credit cards off because those are compounding interest, and it's going to be a
Correct.
constant thing. That 401k payment, again, that's coming out of the paycheck, so let it kind of run its course. Also, the economy's doing some things, so like letting it go in over a period of time will let you reinvest differently.
Yes.
So hey, instead of putting $10,000 down today, and let's say the market tanks tomorrow, well, then you're screwed. So now if the market's up, then yeah, you look like a genius, but now you're letting it build its time, and you go, hey, I have the $1,000 every month or whatever the heck's going in. So yeah, this month it made some money, then it didn't. So I like the idea of I never take a 401k loan. Granted,
No.
I understand it was free, but let that money keep growing, right? That's going to be your wealth later in life. So yeah, we'll reach out to this person and get a little more information. But you and I, we just did the math. You have somewhere between 1,600 and 2,000 of extra dollars that are unaccounted for. And we should get that figured out.
Yeah. Let's find out what exactly that is and see if we can help
Yeah.
even more.
What'd you pull up?
So speaking of 401ks, I switched jobs and now I don't have a 401k.
Okay.
I opened a Roth IRA and maxed it out, but is there anything else I can be doing?
Oh, yes.
All I know about investing is max out your 401k, which I have done for years. I switched jobs a few months ago and everything is great. It looks like a long-term fit, but I'm going to need to get better at investing. Any advice is appreciated. So there's a lot of options out there.
Yeah.
Roth IRAs and IRAs, you're still limited on how much you can put in.
Correct.
So, max that out, because if you're used to maxing out your 401k, you can still max that out. I would absolutely choose a Roth because we're hoping that, our salary then would be more than our salary now.
Yep.
And if you make the right investments, it will be.
Yeah. I mean, depending on the age that
Yeah.
you are, right? I just say, I hope you're young and starting it really early. So
Absolutely.
It's
I would look at there's some great investment tools out there.
you and I love Betterment, right?
Love it.
Index funds. And
Yep.
so, to me, you don't have a max, but you're going to pay taxes on the gains over the year.
You are.
But they take a really low fee. Betterment's going to be a sponsor for us. They just don't know it.
Absolutely.
And we I invest weekly into Betterment. I know you do.
Mhm.
Caitlin does. You know, it's a tool that you can constantly do, and you have your cash,
Mhm.
you know, when you need it, if something comes there, but you should be using it as a retirement type thing.
Absolutely.
So that's a great tool to use.
I love some of these robo investors, whether it's Stash or Public or Acorns.
Yep.
They allow you to buy fractional shares, a lot of them, so you don't have to, you know, have $300 to buy a stock of Apple or whatever Apple's going for nowadays.
Yep.
And you do pay to use some of these, like Public's free, but you pay to use Stash, it's $3 a month. You pay to use Acorns, I think it's $3 or $5 a month, whatever it
Sure.
is. But you know, there's ways you can earn free stocks with these as well, and you know that you can reinvest. Like with Acorns, if it's tied to your credit card, or debit card, they'll throw the change into your account.
Yep.
So you know, if you spent $2.12, it'll take, what is that,
88 cents.
88 cents.
Yeah.
Couldn't do that math quick enough.
So,
And they'll throw it in your Acorns account, and you know, you'll be buying stock with it, which is great because then you're still reinvesting that stuff.
Yep.
I always suggest dividend stocks if you know enough about the stock market. I don't suggest it for people that are novices and don't know anything, but if you get dividend stocks, reinvest those dividends, because you know you're at that point always buying free stock with it.
Yep.
Well,
and say, you know, and I think that they're, you know, so, and if you're just wanting it to be retirement, right? I mean, mutual funds, right? I mean, good growth stock mutual funds is something that's gonna get you longevity over a period of time. So, you know, I'm very happy the fact that you're in a spot where you can invest and you want to invest. That's great. Keep it up. So I hope that's some decent advice for the person.
yeah, I hope so.
I say, I'm in so much debt, I want to cry.
I mean, we all feel that at times.
I never thought I'd be in this situation, but here I am. I make $1,600 every 2 weeks. So, right now there's a total of $6,600 between 2 credit cards that I owe. That's not counting the bills from the vet. This sounds like a David, for about $900, or a Best Buy credit card for that. And it's like $1,900. Sorry, I should be clear. $1,900. I'm so in over my head. I don't know what to do, where to start, or if I can get out of debt. I'll have a pay increase in June from $20.50 an hour to either $22.50 or $23.50, depending on the job I get that pays 23 or not. But I'm still just very overwhelmed. If anyone that sees this has advice, of course, I know to not use them as frequently. I'd love to hear your advice. So
Send that one to myself too, so that we can address them as well.
yeah. So this one's harder for us to answer
Yes.
because we don't know what your bills are, right? You know, the one thing I'll tell you is I'm not a fan. Here's the only time I want to be clear on this, David. What you need to do when you use a Best Buy gift card is
Credit
have
card.
the cash.
Credit card.
Right. Best Buy credit card. You have the cash to pay it off, right?
Yep.
There's really nothing at Best Buy that you need today
Not a damn thing.
that you need to take debt for, right? Say if you went and bought 5 PS5s when they first came out and you're 1900, you would have guaranteed to sell them and make money. So
Absolutely.
like, you know, I could see it if you don't have the money to back it up, but you know that's like the thing that's going to get it to you. I almost but I wouldn't do it with 3. I'd only do it with 1 and take the risk, but
Right.
nothing is a guarantee in life, but I would take that 1 risk, right? Just so you could help yourself get out of more debt. Say, you know, so 1,600, you know, you're going to get $3 an extra hour. That's $120 a week,
Mhm.
right? On 40 hours. So that's going to be absolutely huge. So I'm going to tell you, a total of 6,600 between the two credit cards. One, what I would do is take a look at and see, can I find a credit card that's 0% interest that will allow me to roll it over? First and foremost, it's the biggest thing I'm going to go do. I'm not a huge fan. David is a fan of credit cards, but you have to use credit cards responsibly
Correct.
as you know, as you get into this. So I'm
If
going to tell you,
have good credit.
yeah,
There are cards out there that will charge you a 3% balance transfer fee, which sucks. You're paying 3%.
Yep.
But they'll give you a year to pay it.
and you'll have 0%
And-
interest.
Correct. So suck it up and pay 3% of $6,600, transfer that over, and you got a year no interest to pay it.
Yeah, and so you're paying $200,
Right.
rounding up, but
And
now
you're paying way more than that in finance charges.
oh yeah, I mean,
monthly.
so 6,600, and let's just, what's a normal credit card interest rate?
23%.
Okay, say times 0.23 is 1,500 divided by 12 is 126. I mean, so 1 month you've saved, or so you
You'd be out an extra $80.
yeah, say, and
And
then
that's just 1 month.
just 1 month, right? So now we're 10 months. So now if we do this, right, so we're gonna pay the extra 200. So now we're at $6,800 minus our payments. So divide that by 12. We need to make $566 payment, and we'll be out of that in the year,
Yep.
right? Say, and if you can't do that, hopefully you need to make that guaranteed minimum payment type thing on to keep your credit really good. Month 10, we're going to open up another one for
And
0% interest.
Do it again.
And at this point, we're going to be, I don't care if we're halfway, right? So now we're at 3,400 for halfway. And we pay another $100 now because of the 3% rollover.
Yeah.
So you're at 35. I mean, you're going to get there in that next year guaranteed.
Absolutely.
So, that's the,
Hate to do it that way,
I do.
but it will work.
But again, I say, I don't know anything about their other bills.
Yeah.
Your veterinary, $900. David and I disagree upon these.
Yeah, I'd pay that without a question.
Of course. But, I'm hoping that that's an interest-free thing with a vet, right? That they, so
My guess is they put that on the credit card, which you could have gotten care credit, which is 0% interest.
So yeah, it's not counting the $900. But I don't know. And then it says a Best Buy credit card. So that's
And-
3 credit cards.
And the Best Buy credit card, there's never a reason to have a store credit card because
Ever.
no store has anything that you need.
And, if you were telling me, hey, I'm buying food, then we're gonna have a whole different conversation, right? But oh yeah. So I guess that's the biggest key for us is, hey, consolidate your credit cards into a 0% credit card, or as much of it as you can into a
Yeah.
0%. And so the hack, okay, let's just say you only get approved for 3,000.
Yeah.
Open 2 on the same exact day.
Yeah.
Because credit doesn't know that you've pulled it. It's cheating the system.
It is.
So now you'll have 2 of them that give you the same offer of $3,000, and you just go, yep, I'll take them. Boom, roll them into it, and now you have these. So, because if you wait longer than a day, it'll show on your credit that, hey, you have an open line, but otherwise it just shows, hey, I kind of screwed this up. Here you go. So,
All right, this is a fun one. I received a random Zelle for $1,625.
oh no,
Hello, Reddit. I had an odd situation. On Sunday, I received a Zelle payment for $1,625 from a name I had never heard of before. Also, I never got the text I usually get when getting my Zelle payments to receive the money. It just went into my account. On Monday, I called my bank and asked them if they could reverse the payment, and the bank said they would. However, as of this morning, the payment is still in my account and the funds are no longer pending, but fully available. Here are my questions. 1, is this a scam? 2, is there any way I can return the money? Thank you for your help. First off, you don't know this person.
right?
So is this a scam? 100%. Because you don't know this.
You don't know them, yeah,
Could it have been a mistake? Possibly.
but you're still responsible for that.
Correct. So Zelle is just like Venmo or PayPal or Cash App, any of these things. So you can send money to anybody you want, and they could have just made a mistake and sent it to the wrong person.
Yep.
But in that case, they're going to want their money back. So don't go spend it. Is there any way you can return the money? You're going to have to work through your financial institution to do that, because it's already in your account. So there's not a whole lot else you can do. Just to take a quick break here, Vanessa, they're going to kick us out of the live here in a minute. So I'm going to just restart it right back up so you can hop back in. Okay. Because they limit us to 120 minutes because they're dumb. So close, exit, new live show.
And yeah, no, so if somebody didn't get it right within however long, they're gonna go, hey, this went to the wrong person. They're gonna get their money back. They're gonna take it from you in one way or another, right?
Yes, absolutely.
You are not entitled to that money. Just, so if you find money on the street, you actually have to make a valid effort to try to find the owner, right? So if it's $1, and even if it's $1, you're technically supposed to say, you're supposed to go, oh, anybody dropped this, and but because you have to find the rightful owner of the money. This one's a little bit more confusing.
Okay. I love confusing.
No, all right. I inherited my mom's 401k. She had with Delta Airlines. She died at 73, but never touched her 401k. Now Fidelity says I can't touch the money for many years to come. I am 30. Update. Sorry. I know 60 seems like not a lot. It has 60K in there. And sorry, I am 30. Is there a way to access the money without increasing or incurring heavy fines and fees? I believe they said it would come out to almost 40% in fees. So I don't know. I mean, if you're inheriting this and it's a 401k, you shouldn't have this, right? So I don't know why Fidelity. So maybe your mom's will says that you have to be a certain age. Maybe something's happening.
If you are a non-spouse beneficiary, you can leave the retirement savings in the inherited 401k and take all of the money by the end of the 10 years after the account owner's death.
Okay.
You can withdraw it at any time, but you must withdraw all the inherited assets by the end of the 10th year. This option helps spread the tax liability over several years. There are certain situations when beneficiaries are exempt from the 10-year rule. If the beneficiary is a minor, the 10-year rule does not apply until the minor attains the age of majority, which would be 18.
Right.
Also, if the beneficiary is disabled or chronically ill, they are allowed to spread the distributions over their lifetime under the old distribution rules that existed before the Secure Act came into effect. So this person that inherited it from their mother,
yep,
has 10 years to withdraw these funds. They can't withdraw them until they retire or whatever the situation is that Fidelity told them. That's an outright lie.
Yeah.
Or maybe Fidelity is just whoever they spoke to there doesn't know. But they're not allowed to leave it in there for more than 10 years.
Yeah.
So their best bet is every year take a disbursement so that by 10 years it's gone.
It's gone. Yep.
And what I would do with that is roll it over into a Roth. That's what I would do.
Yep.
Unless you need the money.
Well, let's say, and they said they needed the money. So,
and if you need the money, you're going to pay penalties on it.
You're going to pay tax.
That's life. That's why they're saying if they take it out in one lump sum, they're probably paying 40%.
Right.
But if they spread it out over 10 years, they're probably paying less.
Yep. So, and I think that's the best option is just, if you absolutely need it, then pay the 40% and be done with it. But if you can let it gain more interest over the period of time, let it do that. So schedule it. My thing would be to talk to the bank itself, and say, hey, what would it look like to withdraw 10% penalty, and or what would it over 10 years, and how would I be able to do that? So
Did you get off of that one?
I did,
Oh.
but sorry, I
I
forget.
can find it though.
Yeah. And so, yeah, say, hey, put me on a payment plan so that way, and then pay the lump sum at the end of the 10-year period. That way you're gaining more money throughout the entire time. I have no idea how I found that
I
one.
can find it.
No, it's gone. So,
You think it's good? Well,
yeah.
do you have a Reddit account?
Yeah.
Because you're just on Reddit here. Let me go. Oh, there it is. So no, you don't.
Oh, I have a Reddit account.
You're not signed into it.
Oh, is that the problem?
Yeah, so I don't think I can get back to it. Oh well, they will not hear us. Our answer.
We'll figure it out.
So back to 401ks. Current job doesn't match 401k contributions. As the title states, my current job does not do 401k matching, as it's a small family-owned company. They said they're working on it because business has been increasing, but no timeline has been given. Is it worth it for me to still open a 401k? Or what other options can I do to maximize my savings? My last jobs had matching, so this is new to me, and I'm not sure the best path to take here. Money is tight, so I want to keep this to just one type of retirement option. So that's why I'm asking if it's worth to put money in the 401k, or if there's a better option I can take. Nick, you and I are both going to say the same damn thing, aren't we?
Yeah.
Betterment.
It's the best way to do it. So,
it's just a better option, because if they're not offering you, it's great that the company has a 401k.
Yep.
Because they are offering you a vehicle for retirement. They just don't have the money to also help fund that, which happens with a small business sometimes. But what you need is also a company, or a place to put your money that can help you get money for retirement. And that's what we're looking for here. So take that money, put it into a Betterment account, whether it's a Roth or a straight IRA or just their investment account, and ride whatever you need to, for your monthly payment.
Yep. I like this one. This could be fun. All right. I am thinking of taking out a personal loan to pay $15,000 in debt.
Ooh.
Currently, I have $11,000 in credit card debt, $3,000 in an auto loan at 29% APR for my credit cards. I think it would be smart to take out a loan to pay it all off. According to Credit Karma, I have a great approval rates for a loan of $15,000 at 9% APR. My credit is around 740, currently employed. So my question is it a good idea to take a personal loan? I know community encourages people to consider consolidating your debt with a 0% APR credit card first before taking out a loan.
I mean, if you can, great.
Yep.
If you can't, I mean, that's okay.
Yeah.
My question is, why are we putting the car into this loan? Because I would have to hope that your car payment is not at 9%.
Correct.
So I wouldn't even suggest touching the car.
Yep.
But if you're paying 29% interest, anything is better.
I mean, that's 20% lower.
Right.
Right. So get instead of doing 15, which I don't know why they're doing 15. Granted, they could be rounding down, but it says 11 and 3, which is 14 to me.
Right.
And then you're saying 15. So, I guess if they're approving you for 15, you don't
need to take 15.
Fine. Then, if they're forcing you to take 15, great. What you're going to do is you're going to pay that 4,000 right back, right? Just give it right back. You're not going to get any interest on that 9%. Just boom, paid off. You know, they might incur 1 month of 9%, but it's better than that. It saved you 20% off of that right away.
Right.
So that's going to be the biggest key. Also, I think you need to figure out why are we. So to me, it's always a deeper thing. It's sure you figured out a way to consolidate this, but why are we $11,000 in credit card debt?
Mhm.
Because now if we get this personal loan, I mean, do we have enough money to pay this? Are we doing the right thing? No matter what, you're going to have to do it so that way you can lower that payment. All right, sorry. So $11,000 times 0.9 is 3190 divided by 12. So $265, right? Monthly. Now, if we go to 11,000 times 0.09 is 990 divided by 12, we're $82. So literally you're cutting it into a third, right? I mean, it makes perfect sense to do it. You're less than a third. So you'll have $200 extra going towards your payment. And if you're making your minimums, then now you're going to excel your minimums and you'll have that thing paid off in no time. So to give you the answer, yes, try for a 0%. If you can't get it, I mean, they're giving you 9%.
Yeah.
Take it and fucking run, right?
Absolutely.
Your car, so to reiterate, your car, I'm assuming it's less than 9% interest. So keep the car
Keep the
payment
car where
going
it is,
and do that.
All right, Nick, I know your answer to this one, but
Yeah.
I ask it anyways. Has anyone here successfully edited their timeshare? I know I'm stupid for falling for it. Trust me, my spouse and I regret it every day. So please don't say that I was dumb or I should have known better, because I don't need that right now. And I already know that I was dumb. I just want to know if anyone has successfully exited their timeshare. What methods did you use? Any resources you recommend? I'm so scared and we need this massive burden out of our lives. There's so many timeshare exit scams out there too. Thank you in advance. I hope someone can help. Nick, who would you tell them to talk to?
Bucks and Brews. And then Bucks and Brews is going to send you to Tug, which is Timeshare User Group.
Yep. Brian at Timeshare User Group
Just
is the
fantastic.
fucking best.
And I mean, I find myself on there randomly now, like looking up, of course, trying to find something cheap, like last minute. But the website again is tug2.net.
Yeah.
Okay. They're a .net. They started so long ago, and there's forums, there's things. They're going to help you get out of it. Also, right. I mean, they're going to walk you step by step on how to get out of this. You can, there's a million ways to do. I mean, not a million. There's one real way to do it for each individual company. So figure out which one you have, and they will walk you through exactly how to do it. Because, some of them are, you have to mail specifically, this way. Some of them you have to call and do this, but find out what you own, go into that forum. They will give you the exact thing. So it's tug2.net.
I'm actually going to look up our episode and link it in the thing there in the subreddit.
Yeah. Ooh, this one could be fun for me. How to transfer my personal debt to my business debt.
Ooh.
I'm looking for ways to transfer my personal debt to my business debt. To provide some context, my LLC is relatively new, just 6 months old. Unfortunately, I accumulated debt of over $10,000 on my personal credit cards due to business expenses. It's crucial I pay off these cards ASAP for obvious reasons. There is some good news to share as well. I recently received a cash investment of $20,000 for my business. In total, we have received approximately $50,000 in investments, including the $20,000. Currently, we have a little over $20,000 in our bank account. Now my question is consolidating my LLC's age. Oh, sorry. My question is, considering my LLC's age, is it possible for me to leverage the most recent $20,000 investment to obtain a low interest loan or credit limit that can be used to pay off my personal credit cards? If so, what are my options in achieving this? Thanks in advance. Okay. So your LLC is 6 months old. And the answer to this is your accountant is going to teach you how to categorize your expenses. So you're going to have your receipts for your $10,000 that you spend, because you didn't establish your LLC, but it was all business expenses to get in, because let's just say, right, you pay $50 to get an LLC. Technically, you pay that before your LLC is there. You still write that into your business. You telling me that you have $20,000 in your bank account, and you have 10,000 in personal. To me, I don't know why you're not just paying this thing in cash and being done with it. That really, I get, if you have growth and development that you're trying to do, sure. But so I guess if your idea is, hey, can I do this? The answer is yes. Now, sorry, your question is, can you take the 20,000 investment to obtain a low interest loan or credit limit? I mean, you could open a credit card in your LLC's name, get a business line. Really, say yes, being young doesn't really matter. I mean, it's how you build it. They'll probably give you a small $2,000-$5,000 start type thing. But again, what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to categorize everything. So this is, if you're an actual business, right? I get that you're an LLC, but if you're an actual business, not because anybody can have a LLC. Let's be clear about this.
We have one here.
Yeah, but you're a
Bucks and
business.
Brews.
Yeah,
No, Bucks and Brews.
Bucks and Brews, right? Yes.
We filed as an LLC just in case.
Yep. But in the eyes of the federal government, currently we are, we're a hobby.
We're a hobby.
Right? So we're not going to be able to write off all of our losses forever, kind of a thing. Until we make it big, when we get our big Betterment sponsor.
Yeah, when Betterment starts sponsoring.
and Bud Light starts sponsoring us. So yeah, you really, this is an accountant question, because they're going to categorize it for you, and then you'll be able to say, hey, because it's not a transfer of your personal debts, but now if that $10,000 is some personal stuff, you're only allowed to do your stuff that was for your business. So let's say you bought shirts for your business, but then you bought a t-shirt off of Amazon. I mean, that Amazon t-shirt, you have to, because when you get audited, you will be screwed, and they will officially write you for everything. So don't do anything and say that it is. I mean, really make sure that you've used this, right? Don't mess with the government when it comes to this. So
yeah, you don't want to get screwed.
Go back to your files, make sure you have your receipts for all this 10K, and yes, you'll have no problem doing this. So I think I answered that pretty well.
I think you did.
Okay.
So let's see if I can find another good one. I'd say we do a couple more here.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Is it possible to contribute to an HSA without an employer as long as you have a HDHP?
Ooh, that's a David question.
That is a David question. So let's break down what all these acronyms are. So is it possible to contribute to a health savings account without an employer as long as you have a high deductible health plan? So one of the main things to have an HSA, not one of the main condition to having an HSA is it has to be partnered with a high deductible health plan.
Good.
If you do not have a high deductible health plan, so I had an HSA last year, I do not have a high deductible health plan this year. I have a straight HMO.
Yep.
I cannot contribute to my HSA.
Okay.
I can use the funds that are in my HSA to pay for medical things, but I cannot put money into my HSA. Okay.
Yep.
So do you have to have an employer? No, you can get a high deductible health plan on the marketplace.
Yep.
So as long as you have a high deductible health plan, you can have an HSA and you can contribute to your HSA and get all of those tax benefits without having to have that plan through your employer.
Yeah, no, and that's great. I mean, that's great advice, because most people don't know that. I mean, right? If you're not into the medical field and how that all works. So I think that's going to be their best option. So $20,000 personal debt and would appreciate advice. Hi all. I inherited my family home after my parents passed away when I was 25. I was fine until I lost my job due to COVID. When my personal finances have been out of control since then. I have roughly $20,000 outstanding credit card debt I also have 10,000 RRSP from my parents. RRSP?
I don't know what the fuck that is. I'll look it up.
Yeah, thank you. And the house is worth $200,000, completely paid off. I have no savings. I am in credit debt for paying the taxes and insurance on the house. The house is completely paid off. It is my only residence. I do not currently have a job. When I had my full-time professional job, this wasn't an issue of paying taxes and my own cost of living stuff. Sorry, it escalated quickly. My question is, what are my options for debt control? I was looking into bankruptcy, but I don't want my family home taken as repayment. And a consumer proposal seems similar. I am going to speak with an LIT licensed attorney. No, I don't know. But would like to wrap my head around everything before I call so I can communicate better. Any insight would be appreciated.
Okay, I don't know what an LIT is,
Yeah, me neither.
but I can tell you what an RRSP is.
Yeah, let's hear it.
It's something that you and I should know.
Okay.
It is a registered retirement savings plan.
Oh, okay.
So, typically in Canada,
We don't know all these acronyms. Sorry.
this seems to be a thing in Canada.
Okay.
A registered retirement savings plan is a savings plan registered with the Canadian federal government
Okay.
that you can contribute to for retirement. So that's why we don't know, because we're not Canadian. There's a whole lot of information there, and I only tapped into some of your reading.
Yep.
So how about you start talking and I'll
Oh, so
jump in.
all right. You say you inherited it when you were 25. I don't know how old you are now. 20,000 in outstanding credit card debt and maybe taxes. You said you use this to pay taxes and insurance on a $200,000 place. I'm kind of calling bullshit that it's got to be multiple years, right? That's where I get the whole, I don't know how old you are now, but like, so you haven't had a job for how long? But you don't get 20,000 in taxes and insurance off of 1 year's worth of payments, right? So
No.
there's more credit card debt, right? I mean, I have, $1 million building and I don't pay $20,000 in taxes,
Right.
and I have one of the highest tax areas in America here. So, if you ask me, okay, you don't have a job. I'm fine. $20,000. Okay, so the house is paid off. You have this debt. It sounds like you're single, because you didn't mention family, anything like that. Get a renter, right?
Mhm.
I mean, that's gonna pay this thing off just like that. So split the house. Rent a bedroom. You don't have to go get a job at that point, right?
Right.
And it'll pay it. Also, say without a job, you can't really get a HELOC. I mean, I guess somebody will do a 50% HELOC for you. If you are in Canada, things will be a little bit different. But really, yeah, my thing is let's get some income, right? So
Yeah, I do wonder how old this person is.
they said I was 25,
right, but now,
right?
was this are they 30? Are they 45? Are they 60?
Right. And
I mean, a lot of that makes a difference. So, okay, they're not working.
Mhm.
But if they're not working at 65, it's way different than not working at 35.
right. Well, I say, and this was, so yeah, it doesn't seem like it's going to be that long, but I guess I would say, if they're 25, it could be within the last year, I guess, or so. And let's just say you're 30 now. So you had all of COVID because you lost your job because of COVID. So
Yep.
we have 3 years worth from the beginning of COVID to now. So 3 years worth of debt. You haven't gotten anything. So if we divide 20K, that's just shy of $7,000 a year. And
Yeah.
really, if that's all it takes to make your bills, 7,000 divided by 12 is $583. You could rent a room for, and I don't know how big the house is, but
right.
somebody will rent it for $600 a month. Now you're even. You got to eat, do whatever you got to do, but you have another 600 for 2 rooms. I mean, that's 1,200. Now you've paid all your bills and you're doing just fine.
Yeah.
So
There are definitely opportunities.
this one's really, really easy for me.
Yeah.
It's just, hey, either A, go get a small job to pay this back real quick, or get a renter or
Yeah.
two in there. Heck, I don't know if you're 25. I don't know if you have a friend that you can go stay with or something like that. Rent the whole house out for however much it could be, because I mean, I think you'll do just fine.
You could rent a house out for
You-
even for cheap at $1,400 a month.
Yeah, I say, like, everything depends on area and stuff like that, but let's just say it's the 1% rule, right? $2,000 for the house in the area that you're in. Just kind of look at it that way.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
I feel like I fucked up big time,
Oh,
and I don't know what to do. I don't know. So I was planning on paying in full for my aligners up until I left. My specialist talked my specialist talked me into taking a loan with Allegro Credit. I was the typical idiot who didn't look at the reviews because I felt so rushed, and now I'm seeing reviews. I've tried to make a payment today, and I don't think it's going to end up going through. I'm not sure what to do, but I'm stressed out and I can't really find too much on them besides their reviews. Meaning that probably most people do a background check on this type of stuff. I'm 19 and I haven't been able to ever say no because of the things that happened while I was growing up. But this is my wake-up call to grow a backbone. I'm also certain that there are a lot of grammatical errors in this, but I'm not able to try and figure all of that out right now because I'm so anxious. I'm guessing aligners is something with teeth.
I would assume.
And absolutely you should never enter into any loans without knowing full details. And the fact that your dentist, I'm going to guess, kind of pressured you into this is not great. It's
Right.
just not great.
I say they're doing it because they want the sale.
They do,
And-
and not really explaining to you what's going on. There are several ways out of this. You can always go get a loan someplace else and pay this one off. You could roll it over to a credit card, if, as we discussed earlier, find one that has 0% interest with a balance transfer and just transfer that right over to that credit card. It'll give you a year to pay off that money. So there are options out there.
Yeah, and I say, don't say, if somebody's forcing it upon you, it's not something you usually want, right?
Correct.
That's called a sale.
Yep.
Let's say, and figure out what's best for you, but don't go taking high interest. Kind of goes back to an episode that we were on.
Yeah.
So, would you hire someone with personal debt?
Okay.
Hi, all. Blank here. Please forgive me for this dumb question. I'm starting to look for my first accounting job. If you're hiring someone and run a background and credit check on them and see they have student and credit card debt, how much does personal debt weigh in your decision on hiring? I currently have student loan debt and about $16,000 in credit card debt, but have a lengthy credit history. I'm 38 years old with a credit score of 765 on Experian. I'm planning to get rid of this. I'm planning to get rid of it this year, but in the meantime, I don't know if it would reflect poorly on me. Any advice?
I think the only cause for to pause would be the fact that you're looking for a job in finance.
Mhm.
And it's possible that an employer would run a credit check on you to see if you might be a risky employee.
Yep.
For their finances. But at the same time, I know that many people have debt, and that doesn't necessarily tell me whether you're good with money or not. So you and I have had this conversation several times over the last few weeks of it, and I don't know if I've said it to you this way, but imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
I have a lot of imposter syndrome right now because, you know, I have these medical bills that have to be paid. And unfortunately, I don't have the money to just pay them. So I'm making payments on all of them, and it's no interest. So it's not like it's costing me money to take time to pay these.
Right.
But because of the financial person that I am, I feel like I have imposter syndrome because I tell everybody, you know, be fiscally responsible. And I'm sitting here not fiscally responsible all of a sudden. And it sucks. It's a shitty position. But does that mean I'm not good at finances? You know, the common sense part of me knows that, yeah, I'm still very, very good at finances. I'm just not at a position where I can pay what I want to pay on these bills right now.
Yep.
And, you know, same with this person. They have debt. They know they have debt. You know, if they have a credit score of, what do you say, like 675, 775? Yeah. So 765 credit score tells me that they're making their payments. They're making them on time. They're probably paying more than the minimum.
Yep.
So they're still being financially responsible, even though they have debt.
And you know, one thing they said is their goal, they're going to have it paid off this year. So my other advice is any company that you apply for will always say, hey, like there's always a sheet that says, just to let you know, we pull credit, and or, you know, we pull credit and look into your finance history. Like no company can legally
Pull your credit.
pull your credit without telling you that this is what they're doing.
Correct.
So really, and you know, you're in such small debt compared to, and you know, of course, everybody's in student loan aspects of things, but you know, no company can do it without it. So go and apply and do all this, and then if you get to like this dream job, sure, but I guarantee when they look at it and they're going to see that you've been paying, and as you said, you're 1 year from getting this thing paid off, like this year. So you'll have the opportunity to sit and explain, hey, this, and if you just lay out your whole budget for them and go, hey, this is how I'm doing it, you know, like they're gonna go, oh yeah, you definitely know what you're doing in this accounting aspect of thing, right? You know, so I personally would not worry about that in any way.
I think this is a great one to end on
Okay.
because it's right up your alley.
Oh, I love it.
Is the housing market too overvalued to buy right now? I purchased a small house in a not great area 3 years ago.
Okay.
I have a 2% mortgage on it.
Good for you.
I'm looking to upgrade a bit to something slightly larger in a slightly nicer area. But I'm a bit spooked by the high prices and much, much higher interest rates.
Mhm.
I would appreciate the internet's opinion on whether now is a horrible time to buy. Obviously, this is a should I time the market question. Edit. I can comfortably afford the alternative home while still saving and investing responsibly, which that's great knowledge to have.
That's hope.
That's huge.
Yep.
So I want your thoughts before I say anything, because this is up your alley.
Sure. So the last part literally just hits right on the head. You can afford it. Okay.
Yes.
Can
Can afford it and still put money in savings and investing.
investing, right? So here's what I look at. You're going to sell the place that you bought for 50,000 for 150. Let's just say, right? I'm making up numbers.
Yeah.
Because you said you're in a low area and you're in a high. And now it's worth more. So you'll have 100,000. You're going to take, you've lived there 2 out of the past 5 years, so you don't have to pay the taxes on it. But really, I mean, the best thing you could do is pay off that next house if that's your goal. And so just take that and plop the $100,000 on the next house. You are going to be 4 times higher. But I think, you know, you said we always bring up Scott, right? Is the
Yep.
one that always says it. Yeah. Okay. So if you buy it in the high market, right, and it goes lower, are you planning to move?
Probably not.
No. Are you selling the house?
Probably not.
Okay. So it doesn't matter that it's going to become lower, right? Because I mean, the value of it's going to go lower, sure. But you're in an area that you like, you can afford it. Everything, there's so many perks to this next jump. So my opinion is, right, sell that low one at a high, buy the next one at a high, but it'll go low, but it'll go high again, right? I mean, the real estate economy ebbs and flows.
Yep.
So when you're buying high and buying high, or selling high and buying high, it's the same, and you can afford it, right? Now, if you think that there's a chance that you are not well established in your job and things like that, and if it's going to get tight, but you're telling me that you're being able to invest in savings and retirement, I mean, that's two huge things for me. I personally would tell you, hey, keep it at 25% of your income, and then go with it. So my opinion is, yeah, go buy in the nice area. Go get yourself that. You can afford it. You've earned it. You've done it. And if it was me, hell, rent out the house. But no, I mean, if you're gonna make $100K, let's just say, you're not gonna make that in rentals for a long period of time. So
Well, I'm going to throw in a caveat to this, and then I'm going to hop on my soapbox because
Yeah.
we know I love my soapbox. Yeah, you get it right now at 8%.
Yep.
But in 3 years, when interest rates drop,
Yeah.
to let's say 4, refi.
Yep.
No big deal.
cost you $4,000 or
Yeah.
$3,000 and you'll be fine. And because, so if the market tanks, when it tanks, whatever happens, we'll talk about it in another episode. Interest rates are going to drop. You look at history, this is what happens. They're sure, unless the market stays tanked and they keep raising interest and everything just goes kaput. But I don't think that's, again, this is an opinion on what it is. But if you're telling me you can afford it and you can do it and you've run the numbers, you seem like you have a smart head on your shoulders, like, yeah, go do it. If it's tight, don't do it. Right. If it's, I can, but if you're telling me you're still doing your investments that you want, you seem like you've run the numbers. I would personally sell the house, put the offer in, and buy the next house.
So soapbox time.
Yeah.
Inflation is much more under control than it was 2 years ago.
Agreed.
And of course, they're talking about a couple more raises of interest rates in over the next couple of years.
Let's say over the next little bit, but yes.
And so I'm looking at this, as somebody that gets annoyed easily with bullshit.
Mhm.
And the question that I ask is, if inflation is mostly under control, and the majority of inflation we can tie back to corporate greed,
Mhm.
what is the benefit of raising the interest rates more?
The truth.
Oh, I want your truth, and then I'll give you mine.
Say the truth is to make America poor, right? It is to pay back the debt. The way I look at it is you're paying back the 2008 loans that we wiped all the banks out for, right? You're getting to this. America has too much cash for their there's no middle class, but right, the people that aren't in the upper class,
Working class,
yes, right,
has too much money right now and too much power.
and so they want to get you to that poor aspect of things.
So, and that brings me to my point. The only reason to do this is to trigger a recession.
Correct.
And we've seen so many executives lately go, we need a recession because a recession will put workers back in their place.
Yep.
And that's the only reason interest rates are still as high as they are. And I want to take fucking Jerome Powell of the Fed and I want to beat the shit out of him because there is no good fucking reason to do this other than to hurt the American people.
That's exactly it, right? To me, you're just trying to kill the economy
Mhm.
because I don't know what the exact reason is, but this is how it feels, right? This is what I'm seeing. This is, we have inflations, and so you're paying out too much. Is that what's happening, right? You're frustrated with it. 8% is, it's never been in my, never been in my lifetime, right? Sure, was I spoiled for the past 10 years? Yeah, 100%. But there is, so I've heard so much, and we'll have another episode on this, right? But there's going to be a couple more bumps, and then we'll, I some of the economic people I've talked to, say we're going to go into 5.5 in the next 2 years, right? So to that person again, when it hits the 5.5, right, do it. I'm not say if you go from 8 to 7, yeah, I'm 50-50 on if I do it, but if I go from 8 to 6 3/4, I jump on it, right? So I'm about 1.25 points every time I do a refi. So, I enjoyed this episode. I say,
I do always love answering Reddit questions because it gives you a nice variety of different things people are going through.
yep.
And I wish we had all of the information, but sometimes it's fun to just speculate.
So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we had fun reading them. Say, as always, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your family. We will be back with you in no time.
Yeah. Thank you for joining. And if you have ideas, please let us know because we love answering your questions as we just proved this entire episode.
That's a fact.
Talk to you guys soon.
You've dialed in
To Box and Brews, you might hear something
you can use.
like tips on your cash or tips on the suds.
You're gonna want to
The
use
smarts of these
because
stuff.
they know the
And
brews.
they know the box, and they know they can't help the stubborn fucks.
So listen up, cause shit's not funny.
And save yourself some
Beer money, bucks,
and brews.
Bucks and
Bucks
brews.
and brews.
brews.
Bucks and brews.